Welcome back to my channel. Today, we step into a courtroom that isn't just filled with people, it's filled with ghosts. Ghosts of lies, betrayal, and buried secrets that have waited years to claw their way into the light. The air is still, the silence sharp enough to cut glass, until Meri Brown drops a single folder on the table. A sound so small, yet it's the sound that ends everything Kody and Robyn ever built. The judge's gaze hardens. The gallery leans forward. And just like that, the SisterWives legacy begins to unravel. Because inside that folder isn't just paper. It's DNA evidence, and it could rewrite the very story the Browns sold the world. Meri doesn't smile. She doesn't need to. Her heels echo like gunshots down the courtroom floor. No makeup, no camera crew, no pretense. Just truth, raw and cold. That manila folder in her hand looks ordinary. But today it's a weapon. Kody enters late. Arrogant, smirking, coat slung over his shoulder like he still owns the narrative. Robyn clings to his arm, still pretending to be the heroine of a story that's already turned on her. Christine and Janelle sit quietly in the back. Not enemies. Not allies. Just survivors of a war no one agreed to fight. The judge calls the room to order. This isn't about custody anymore. It's not about money. It's about truth. And truth doesn't need permission to burn everything down. Meri turns toward the bench. Your Honor, she begins, voice steady as stone. I have reason to believe that the legal documents filed for Dayton's adoption in 2014 were forged. I'm requesting a full investigation and a court-ordered DNA test. The courtroom gasps. Even the bailiff flinches. Kody's mask slips. Robyn's hand flies to her chest like she's been shot. The judge leans forward. Mrs. Brown, do you have evidence? Meri nods once and places the folder on the bench. Everything I've said today is backed by witness statements, message logs, and hospital records. Kody snaps, This is revenge! She's bitter. Meri doesn't blink. You did that all by yourself, Kody. The judge slams the gavel. Enough! Christine leans to Janelle. Did you know? She whispers. Janelle shakes her head. No, but it doesn't surprise me. A recess is called. The room buzzes like a live wire. Meri stands alone by the vending machine in the hallway. Christine approaches quietly. You're really doing this? Meri's voice barely rises above a whisper. They've lied for years, Christine. You know it. But what if this destroys everything? Meri looks up, eyes hollow, voice flat. It already did. We're just the only ones pretending it didn't. Back inside, the storm continues. The judge has reviewed the packet. There's enough to proceed, he announces. Meri takes the stand. Her testimony is surgical. Calm, detailed, lethal. She recounts how Robyn came to her in tears back in 2014, begging for help to make the adoption look official. But nothing added up. Hospital forms mismatched, billing names wrong. And when Meri asked questions, she was told to stay quiet. The defense tries to corner her. Why now, Mrs. Brown? Why after all these years? Because, Meri says softly, I'm not afraid anymore. Then it's Robyn's turn. Her voice trembles, her hands won't stop shaking. We did everything according to the law, she sobs. This is about Meri's jealousy. But the attorney slides a page across the table. Text messages. From Robyn to a man named Joel. The name sends a ripple through the room. Who is Joel? The lawyer asks. An old friend, Robyn whispers. Was Joel ever in a romantic relationship with you? Not at that time. Was he present when Dayton was born? Robyn's silence says more than words ever could. Yes, she finally admits. Kody stiffens. The judge's eyes narrow. The crowd gasps. And just like that, the illusion cracks. Court is adjourned for the night. But outside, the truth follows them like a ghost. The next morning, the air feels heavier. Reporters fill the gallery. The DNA results are sealed, waiting. Robyn enters first, alone. Her eyes red, her face pale. Kody's nowhere to be seen. The judge denies her lawyer's plea to delay. She filed the petition, the judge says. She faces the truth. Robyn takes the stand, trembling. I loved my son from the moment I met him. That's all that should matter. But it does matter, the attorney presses. Did you misrepresent any information on the birth record? No! You said Kody was present at the hospital. Was that true? Robyn hesitates. I thought it was right to say. So it was not true? Tears spill. I didn't lie. I just left things out. Isn't omission under oath still dishonesty? She breaks. I didn't want to hurt him. I didn't want to destroy what we had. Kody gave me stability. I thought the truth didn't matter anymore. Was Joel the biological father? The silence that follows feels like an explosion. When Kody storms in moments later, he freezes, eyes wide, face drained. "What the hell is going on here?" he shouts. The judge warns him to sit, but he can't move. Robyn won't even look at him. Meri watches from her seat, not with satisfaction, but with the weary calm of someone who's seen this moment coming for years. Because sometimes it isn't the lie that destroys a family. It's the truth that finally refuses to stay buried. It's the truth that finally refuses to stay buried. Outside courtroom 3B, the hallway is silent. Until it's not. 10 minutes before the next session begins, Kody Brown corners Robyn by the water fountain. No cameras. No TLC crew. Just two people whose empire is crumbling in real time. The microphones outside the door barely catch the fragments of their argument. "You told me I was the father," Kody hisses, voice cracking like a man losing both control and legacy. Robyn's eyes glisten, her hands trembling. "I needed you to believe it. I needed someone to believe in me." Kody steps back, his face a storm. "I built our entire life around that lie." His voice echoes down the marble corridor, a sound equal parts fury and heartbreak. Inside the courtroom, the energy shifts. Everyone senses something massive is about to unfold. The clerk passes a sealed manila envelope to the judge. Inside, the DNA results. The final truth that no one can spin. The judge breaks the seal. The paper trembles slightly in his hands. His expression changes, a subtle furrow, a tightening of the jaw. He clears his throat. "Going on record," he says, voice steady but grim, "the report verifies that Mr. Kody Brown is not the biological father." The room goes completely still. The kind of silence that hums in your bones. You could hear a pin drop. Robyn covers her face and breaks down. Not a performative cry, not for sympathy, a raw, choking sob of someone watching the scaffolding of her life collapse. Kody doesn't move. He's not raging, not shouting, just hollow. His eyes stare at nothing. The reality is too big to fit inside him. Christine closes her eyes. A whisper escapes her lips, maybe a prayer, maybe disbelief. Janelle reaches over, takes her hand. They don't smile. They don't gloat. They just sit. Two women who survived decades of gaslighting now witnessing their oppressor crumble under his own truth. Meri sits at the opposite end, eyes fixed forward. No glee, no triumph. Just quiet sorrow. Because even when you're right, the truth never feels like victory. Sometimes it just feels like another kind of loss. The lawyer rises, voice cutting through the tension. "Your Honor, we request permission to call a new witness, someone with first-hand knowledge of Mrs. Brown's statements during the adoption process." The judge nods. A side door opens. A woman enters, late 40s, tired eyes, brown jacket, a nurse's pin glinting under the lights. "My name is Carla Emerson," she begins softly. "I was the admitting nurse when Dayton Brown was born." The attorney leans forward. "Did you ever learn who the father was?" Carla's voice doesn't shake. "Yes." "And who was it?" She looks straight at Robyn. It was Joel. She listed his name on the intake form. The air thickens. Robyn's sobs echo across the chamber. Kody turns away, his face twisted with disbelief. Christine leans toward Janelle and murmurs, "She knew all along." The attorney ends his questioning. "Your Honor, based on these testimonies and documents, we believe fraud was committed during the 2014 adoption. We respectfully request that formal charges of misrepresentation and document falsification be considered." The judge exhales slowly, eyes sweeping across the faces before him, the wreckage of a family laid bare. "I'll review it," he says. "But before we close," his gaze fixes on Robyn. "Mrs. Brown, if you knew Kody wasn't the biological father, why proceed with the adoption?" Robyn lifts her face, mascara-streaked, voice trembling. "Because I was afraid he'd leave," she says. "I thought if I kept the secret, maybe he'd stay." Her voice breaks. Fear distorts love until it doesn't look like love anymore. It turns families into performances, and trust into a bargain. The judge closes the file. Court is adjourned. Meri is the first to rise. She doesn't look back. Christine lingers, placing a brief hand on Robyn's shoulder. Not forgiveness, not comfort, but acknowledgement. A silent "it's over." Kody storms past the press with no comment. No cameras this time. No smile, just silence. Robyn sits in her car hours after everyone's gone, staring at her reflection in the rearview mirror, as if waiting to recognize the woman who started all of this. The verdict isn't criminal, but it's devastating. The damage is done. And just when everyone thinks the story is over, Christine opens her briefcase. Inside a dark green folder, she quietly tells her attorney, "It's time. I'm taking the stand." The next morning, the courthouse feels different, heavier, drained, as though the building itself has absorbed the family's secrets. Christine enters, calm, composed, dressed in dark green, her folder clutched tightly in her hand. Her ponytail is sharp, her eyes even sharper. Every head turns as she walks down the aisle. The gallery senses it. Whatever's inside that folder is about to change everything again. Kody sits at the defense table, arms folded, eyes bloodshot. He hasn't spoken to Robyn since the DNA bombshell. She sits beside him now, pale, ghost-like, a woman haunted by her own choices. Meri watches from across the room. Not angry, not vindictive, just tired. She's seen enough truth to last a lifetime. The judge calls the room to order. We are resuming proceedings in case number 45B, Brown versus Brown. He turns toward Christine. "Mrs. Christine Brown, you may testify under oath." Christine stands, posture unflinching. "Your Honor," she begins, "this isn't just one adoption or one deception. It's years of them." A ripple of gasps sweeps the courtroom. Kody's jaw tightens. Christine continues, voice unwavering. "I have documented evidence of financial transfers, falsified insurance claims, and doctored marital records, all linked to Kody and Robyn Brown." The court reporter stops typing for a split second. Kody leaps to his feet. "What do you think you're doing, Christine?" She turns, her tone icy calm. "Something I should have done years ago. Because when the truth sleeps too long, it doesn't wake gently, it wakes up screaming." She opens her folder. Inside, a set of papers, a 2014 medical statement under Robyn's name, paid through Christine's own account. "I was told it was for a routine checkup," Christine says softly. "But it wasn't, it was prenatal care. And the father listed wasn't Kody's." A collective gasp fills the room. Kody slams his hand against the table. "That's enough! You're twisting everything!" The judge's gavel pounds. "Order!" Christine's eyes never waver. "You made me sign it, Kody. You said it was for the family, to keep the network quiet. But I didn't know I was signing a cover-up." And just like that, the courtroom falls into a silence more deafening than any scream. Because what's collapsing now isn't just a marriage. It's the empire of lies that held the SisterWives together. It's the empire of lies that held the SisterWives together. The silence feels alive. Robyn's tears return, first trembling, then pouring freely. "You swore you'd never say that," she whispers. Christine's eyes glimmer, steady but heavy with truth. "And you swore we'd never lie to the court," she answers. "You lied to me, Robyn. Lies don't die when you bury them. They take root. And when they grow, they tear everything apart." The judge leans forward, voice low but sharp. "Judge, Mrs. Brown, are you implying a conspiracy to falsify legal documents by both defendants?" Christine nods once. "Christine, yes, Your Honor. And I'm ready to testify under oath that Kody and Robyn provided false information for money and legal recognition." The crowd erupts in murmurs. Reporters scribble furiously. Even the bailiff shifts uneasily. Kody exploding. "You're doing this for revenge! You left us, Christine. You abandoned the family." Christine's voice trembles but doesn't falter. "Christine, you didn't build a family, Kody. You built a stage. And we were just actors in your show. But I'm done playing my part." Meri's eyes fill. She nods, subtle but certain. The attorney steps forward, sliding a folder across the table. "Attorney, Mrs. Brown, this file includes records from the joint account used for adoption expenses. Can you explain a $40,000 payment made 2 weeks after finalization?" Christine blinks, startled. "Christine, that wasn't legal payment. It was hush money to destroy original documents at the clinic." The judge's pen freezes mid-note. The room tightens with dread. Kody's complexion drains. Robyn's hand covers her mouth as she trembles. "Attorney, so to clarify, you're saying both defendants participated?" Christine softly. "Yes, both of them." Kody bolts upright, furious. "Kody, you can't prove that." "There's no record." The attorney slides another sheet across the table. "Attorney, actually, there is. A scanned email from your account. Subject line reads, 'Handle it quietly.'" Kody's jaw locks. "Kody, this is out of context." The judge slams the gavel. "Judge, enough. This is a court of law, not a shouting match. Truth doesn't need to scream, it only needs courage." Christine breathes deeply. Christine? Your Honor, I didn't come here to ruin anyone. I came because this family collapsed under the weight of secrets, and someone has to finally say it aloud. Robyn whispers something to her attorney, mascara streaking down her cheeks. The judge allows a moment for her to compose herself. Then, clerk bursting in. Your Honor! New evidence just arrived, marked confidential from the lab. The judge frowns. Judge, the lab? Clerk, nodding. DNA sequencing report, a secondary test. Whispers echo through the courtroom. Christine, confused. A second test? On who? The judge opens the envelope, scanning the first page. His expression hardens. Judge, Mrs. Christine Brown. Did you authorize a DNA test on your own child? Christine freezes. Christine, what? No, I didn't. The judge hands the paper to the clerk. Judge, this test lists your name, your son, and Mr. Kody Brown. Kody's head jerks toward her. Kody, what the hell is this? Whispers rise again, louder this time. Christine's hands tremble as she reads the page. Her face drains of color. Christine choking out. Sample comparison. Exclusion confirmed. Kody Brown not the biological father. Gasps. Chaos. Cameras click. The bailiff steps forward as Christine's knees nearly give out. Kody stands motionless, white as ash. Robyn covers her mouth, whispering, "It's happening again." The judge pounds the gavel 3 times. Judge, order. Order in the court. But it's too late. The truth has detonated, and the family the world once envied is finished. The world once envied is finished. The courtroom feels like it's holding its breath. Every eye is locked on Robyn as fresh tears streak down her face. Her voice trembles when she finally speaks, barely louder than a whisper. You swore you'd never say that. The words hang in the air, fragile and broken. Across the room, Christine rises slowly, her composure calm but her eyes burning with restrained fury. And you swore we'd never lie to the court, she says, each word deliberate and sharp. You lied to me, Robyn. Lies don't die when you bury them, they grow roots. And one day they rip the ground open and destroy everything in their path. The judge leans forward, his tone steady but edged with disbelief. Mrs. Brown, he asks, are you implying a conspiracy to falsify documents by both defendants? Christine meets his gaze without hesitation. Yes, Your Honor. And I'm prepared to testify under oath that Kody and Robyn knowingly provided false information, for money, and for legal recognition. The air shifts instantly. Whispers ripple through the courtroom like wind through dry grass. Even the bailiff looks uneasy. Kody's face reddens, his jaw tight, veins rising at his temple. He slams his hand on the table. You're twisting everything, he shouts, voice cracking with desperation. We did what we had to do for the family. Christine doesn't blink. No, Kody, she says softly, her voice trembling not with fear, but finality. You did what you had to do for yourself. The rest of us just paid the price. Robyn turns away, her sobs echoing faintly as she hides her face in her hands. Kody looks at her, searching for reassurance, but she won't even look back. The judge exhales deeply, his patience wearing thin. This court will recess for 10 minutes, he declares, the gavel striking once, sharp and final. When we return, I expect the full truth. Christine stands still, her eyes locked on Kody. He looks smaller now, shaken, defeated, a man finally realizing that the truth he tried to bury has come back to bury him instead.